Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about What We Do in the Shadows. And this movie came out in 2014, and it's directed by Taika Waititi, and I probably will not pronounce this correctly, Jermaine Clement. I always try, and they star in the movie as well. And what this movie is, it's a mockumentary film that's kind of a horror movie, but mostly a comedy. And it's just a satire of like vampires and all that kind of stuff, and just bringing a twist to it and doing anything in its power to make fun of all this stuff. And I thought this movie was great. It was very, very funny, and there were parts where I almost died laughing. And obviously, I'm not going to say which parts of the movie were that, because obviously you would want to just experience the movie for yourself. But in this movie, there were some really great moments where I was laughing pretty hard, and I loved so many ideas in this movie and how it approaches the satire angle of the film. It just really works for me, and the characters are very well written and realized, and the acting is great as well. And so many things are happening in this movie. There's so many characters, but it never loses focus, and it has a perfect understanding of what to focus on and what not to focus on. And I thought all of that was pretty great. And this movie does try to balance horror and comedy in it, I feel. And one criticism that I do have with this movie is that the horror element, I didn't really feel much from it. I just didn't feel as though anything left me scared or anything like that, except for one moment where the character Peter is introduced. That was kind of creepy and well executed, but the rest of the movie, no. I wasn't scared by anything. And this movie doesn't just stop with vampires being parodied. We also get werewolves, and we even get vampire hunters, which is kind of funny. And those just existing in this movie's universe, it makes sense. That's one thing, but another thing, them existing in the movie at all, it's just kind of hilarious to me. And apparently this movie's budget was 1.6 million, which is kind of crazy to think about. What they managed to achieve with that is quite impressive, and there's blood in this movie that looks pretty good. And going into this movie, I thought this movie was going to have a bland basic structure or something that was serviceable. But surprisingly enough, this movie has a structure that's very memorable. And when it gets to the second act in this movie, it's super memorable as to what happens in that second act. And I can't stop thinking about it in terms of how we got there. And this movie does give us interviews with certain characters as to how they became what they are now, and that was pretty fun for me. And this movie flew by for me. I was never bored. It's under 90 minutes, and it just flies by. And I feel like I got so much out of this movie. The way things are presented visually in this movie, I feel adds to the humor and to some extent the horror, even if I didn't feel scared at any point. But aside from that, I do feel as though it did add an element to all those factors, because it just gives you more to chew on than just what's being written for the scene. There's actual filmmaking put into the film, and it complements the movie. And I do have some issues with this movie, one of them being the visual effects looked kind of dated in this movie and just not really convincing, nor did they feel like they were a part of the environment all too much. They were well used, at night, obviously, with these characters being vampires. That was a good idea in the movie. And also, from a practical perspective, there were certain elements that just didn't make sense in the third act, and that's most of my criticisms with this movie. It's just some things could have been tightened a bit, or just not done in a way that looked fake. But aside from that, I thought most of this movie worked pretty well. It was hilarious, love it, and I'll definitely rewatch it at some point, because This is definitely a really great parody, and honestly, the humor just works so well for me in this movie, and I just want to watch it again right now. That's how much it worked for me, and I could pretty much just show this movie to anyone, even if you don't like vampires or like horror, anything like that. If you have an understanding of the tropes of vampires or just know anything about vampires in the media, this movie is going to work for you, I feel. So definitely check this movie out whenever you get the chance, and with all that being said, I'm going to give What We Do in the Shadows an 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of What We Do in the Shadows, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Constantine. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.